The topic of today's video is how to configure the scale and what opportunities do you have in the settings area. You can reach the settings area by click on the tools button. Then a pop-up appears and you see the tabs, the various tabs on top of the menu. In the first tab you have the profile of the scale. You can add here additional information, a description, you can add the title, and whenever you change something, then the save button gets colored so that you don't forget to save. If you change nothing, you see the save button is not colored, and then nothing is to save. Below you have the opportunity to upload an image. You can use also the default image if you don't want to upload, or you can upload your own. And you can zoom in and change the position of the frame, for example. If you want to save this view, you click on save. If not, you just cancel. In the next menu, you have the sharings of data. So this is all about the external forwarding for data. For example, you can embed a widget in your own homepage. If you want to activate, you have to activate the sharing in general. So this is the first step. If you don't activate, everything is gray, so you cannot copy those links. If you activate the sharing, you can copy those links and put this widget inside a homepage. You can edit the style of the widget, of the width and the height, and you can see a preview of that. If you have those settings in that box, the preview would look like this. So this would be a live view in your web page. Also is an opportunity to send a public link. So this is maybe useful, for example, if you have colleagues, or I don't know, if you have a school class and your kids want to have access to the data of your beekeeping club scale, then you can send out this link in WhatsApp or via email, and then they can have access to the data. You can also make a pre-selection of the time you want to set. So let's say last 24 hours, last days, and then you can see how it looks like when you click on that button. You can also deactivate that link by deactivate the sharing. If you want to forward the data to the German Trachtnet, then you activate this menu. Then you have to register there and send the registration. This pop-up appears, and then you have to verify if this data is right, and by click on save, we forward the data automatically. There's also an opportunity to forward the data to MyBeeBus. This is a community in Denmark, and at the moment we're also working on the BeLive, which is a European project. There we also will have very soon an opportunity to forward the data to their network. So this will be then one row below. That was everything about the sharing. Next menu is the data export. The data export allows you to download the data as an Excel file, and you have the opportunity to say if the data should be aggregated before or not. If you want the real raw data, then you click on none. So there will be no aggregation of data at all, it's just the raw data. You can also say, no, it's maybe too much for me, I want it on a daily basis. So then you select the daily, for example. Then you choose the year. So when you have more years of data, then you just select a year. And it's just possible to select a year, not more. So when you want to download more years, you have to make more files. This is because of the size of the file, and if the web browser crashes, then you have nothing. So that's why we just say 1 year and download. After the click on download, the web browser gathers the data and will provide it as a file in your download folder on your PC or mobile. There's also an opportunity to use an API export. The API export has a documentation. You find it here. If you want more information about the API, and if you want information about the costs of this API, so this is not a free version, you have to pay per month, just contact us on contact@wolf-waagen.de and we will send you further information. Next menu is the preferences area. In the preferences area, you can define on top the measurement interval. So this scale is set on every 5 minutes. So that means every 5 minutes we make a measurement of the temperature, humidity, weight, and all connected sensors. Or there's an opportunity to set on hourly basis, so you have just one measurement in an hour. To be honest, I would set always to 5 minutes because the measurement itself is not a huge deal with the battery consumption. It's more the transmission time what takes a lot of battery. So for me, it's more interesting to have a huge density of measurement points. So then you can read the B-flight the better. One button below you can find the power save mode. If you activate this power save mode, then it will stop the hourly transmissions if the battery level is below 20%. Then in the next section you have everything about the junior scale connection. So every master scale can be connected with junior scales. Our junior scales are connected wireless. So therefore the master scale needs information which junior scale should be connected. You can set this in 2 areas. So the first opportunity is to configure it here. This scale is a special one because this is a scale from the series 41 and those scales are connected with a cable. So with those scales we don't have to do anything, they are assigned automatically. If we have a junior scale 42 like this one and you want the wireless one to connect with this one, then you drag it and drop it below the master scale and you see this line occurs, and when this line occurs you just release the button and now it's assigned when you click on save. If you don't want to assign, you just make it like this and then it's also okay. Another opportunity to configure this setting is in the devices menu. You can also do the master junior relation here. So here it's the same. There you have all unassigned junior scales and you can also assign here. This is the second opportunity. Right below the junior scale settings, we have the sensor settings. In this area you can set a weather station and you see in the drop down which sensors are compatible with that scale. If we have older scales, then it can be that there is just single sensors, for example. This series is the 41 series, it's just compatible with the 7-in-1 and the 5-in-1 weather station. So if your station or your sensor is not visible in this drop down, please contact us and we will figure out what the issue is and help you out there. There is also an opportunity to set no sensors. So this is recommendable when you have no weather sensors. So when you have just a scale, then please select no sensors because then it stops the synchronization of the scale, because whenever you have here a weather station set it up and the transmission happens, then it's searching the weather station and this causes a lot of battery consumption when there is no station. Then we have the opportunity to set our wireless sensors, the frequency sensors. If there are unassigned sensors, like in the juniors menu, you just drag it and drop it to the scale and then save it. There is also another option to assign those sensors. This is also again in the devices menu and here in the sensors area, not in the master junior. On the right there's the sensors and there you can also assign. And a very important setting is the alarm. Here you can set a specific weight drop or increase in a specific time frame. So that means when you activate this, when there is a decrease of 500 grams within 5 minutes, so from one measurement to another measurement, then it will send you an alarm SMS and these mobile numbers when this button is activated, for example. In this case, nothing will be sent because they are all deactivated. So when I want an SMS, when this happens, then I activate this button, click on save, and now whenever one of those alarms is triggered, we will send out immediately a message with the alarm. For example, 5 minutes alarm was triggered with the scale 40M02376 and with a timestamp, so you also know inside that message what scale it is, what type of alarm it is, and when it happened. And last but not least, we have the time of transmission. So as I mentioned on top, this decides how long your battery lasts. When you have the hourly transmissions, then the scale will send a transmission to the web server from 6 to 10 o'clock in the evening every hour. So this is the worst setup for the battery. To use this setting, I recommend our solar panel. Then you have no problems with the battery. If you don't have a solar panel, then the battery will last 1.5 to 2 months. But I think normally it's enough to transmit the data once or twice a day. If you want, you can also send a third time of the day. And therefore, you just activate or deactivate. You select an hour. It's just possible to select full hours. Later on, we will also spread it a bit in half hour, but at the moment, it's just hour-wise possible. Then, after choosing another time, you save, and then with the next transmission, it will be synchronized with the scale. So not now, just right after the transmission. So that means when you want the data at 5 o'clock in the morning and the next transmission is at 11, then it will get the setting at 11 o'clock and the next transmission will be then, in this case, at 1, then the next at 5, and then the next at 11 in the evening. You can also speed this up by turn the key switch on the scale. Then you start transmission to the web server and then it gets it earlier, the data. The next step is the location. Here you can set the location and set the location counter, so you can see which yield you gathered in which location. You also see a history. When you move through the country, you know exactly when you've been there in the past, and you also see the GPS information of your GPS sensor when it was activated. How to set locations and how to change them you can find in another video. Next menu is the flow counter. This flow counter can be useful to follow up the various flows during the year. To change it, you click on that change button, change flow. Then this pop-up appears and then you can choose one of the list. If there is a flower missing or there's a crop missing, please contact us by email. We will add this for all beekeepers. It's not possible at the moment to edit in there. So please let us know if there's something missing. We can add this to the list. You can set the date. Let's say it starts today and then we have right now is winter, so it makes sense to have the dormancy. And then I save it. Can also put a comment, let's say 5 kilograms of syrup left, and I click on save. And you can see the summer flower stops. It tells you that it was activated 256 days. And we collect a yield of 0.24 kilograms. For sure, it makes no sense here because you should change this earlier. But right now, on the 30th of January, it starts counting the consumption, feedings consumption. So I recommend place the scale as well during the winter time and set this on dormancy, and then you can read out the feedings during the winter. Next menu is the administrators settings. In the administrator settings, you can set an administrator to the scale. This can be useful when you work together with another beekeeper, what is also an owner of a wolf scale. And when he works as well on your bee scales, then you can set him as an administrator. Therefore, you enter his email address inside that field and you invite him to be an administrator. This needs to be done on every single scale, so it's not possible to set him as a general administrator to all scales. So whenever you set him as an administrator here, then the scale will be visible in the administered scales group on his account. So right after this setting, the scale is visible in his admin scales group. If you stop working together, you can also quit this collaboration by click on that minus button and then he has no access anymore to the scale. Then there's an opportunity to set an observer to the scale. Observer is he has no rights of management, so he cannot change names or something. He just gets the alarm SMS. If there is an alarm triggered, for example, or battery state is too low, then he gets the email. This is the observer status, that he just gets everything about the status. And the last button is the delete button. If you want to delete a scale, then you click on this button and confirm it. And we don't do this now because we want to continue, and this is just for information. If you want more information, follow our playlist, keep on track and get more insights in our software.